Hey guys, Marauder here with my friend Sandalphan, and we're going to be talking about 4 movies actually this time that we have seen over the past couple of weeks. Haven't really had time to sit down and talk about it, but
we're lazy. We're sorry.
Yes. For those of you who've been following the channel, you know that I recently joined a website, so I've been busy producing content for them. But irregardless,
yes,
we saw 4 movies we're going to talk about briefly because I don't want to make this like a half hour.
Yeah, no one needs to watch that again.
Okay, so the first one is Haywire.
Yeah, way back in, halfway through, what was it, January?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, Haywire.
Overall,
I liked it.
I liked it.
It was fun. Gina Carano did a good job with the material she had. Action scenes were all really kick-ass.
Yeah, I like the fact that in this movie you can actually see her kick somebody, which you don't get to see generally in a movie like, I don't know, Born Identity comes to mind, where it's so much shaky cam, you can't tell what the hell's going on. So yeah, the fight scenes were really good. The plot was okay.
Yeah, it was a bit confusing, but then it's an espionage
and the ending
movie.
Was not satisfying in the slightest.
No, I wanted to see her beat up the most interesting man in the world.
She just kind of falls in behind him, and then it cuts to black, and there's credits. And it's like,
yes.
Wait a minute, we've been building up to this the entire movie. We don't get to see what happens.
At least it was kind of a conclusion. I want to see Devil inside.
Mm-hmm. So overall, thumbs up. Wait for DVD, obviously, at this point.
Yes.
Or if it hits the cheap theaters.
I'd be surprised if it's not on DVD already. That's how long it took us to make this video.
Yeah, but if you see it out and about, it is fun if you like, you know, generally good action movies.
Yes.
You know. Anyway, next movie, Chronicle.
Chronicle, yeah, sure, Chronicle.
Okay, yeah, we saw this at different times, but
yeah,
you highly recommended it, so I had to see it.
I did. Chronicle is good. I like that we finally get a movie that follows the villain's rise to power instead of just the superhero.
Yeah, it's basically about these kids who get superpowers from some kind of weird alien thing they find.
Glowing green rocks.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they can fly and use mind powers and telekinetic abilities and all these other things. Overall, it was okay. It at least to me, I mean, I really enjoyed it, but I had a couple of problems with the way they decided to make it a found footage film.
Oh, okay.
I generally, with a found footage film, I need to know where they're getting the footage, and not like how it was shot or what camera they got it from. What was the purpose of putting this film together? Because if you're trying to make me believe that this actually happened and that it's a found footage movie, you know, I need a reason. Like in Paranormal Activity, I need a reason why I'm seeing this.
Oh, okay.
You know, who found the footage? Who put it into a movie? Who made this? Why?
Right.
Which was never explained in Chronicle. In fact, the ending shot was the kid, one of the kids, like on a mountain,
abandoning the camera in the Tibetan mountains.
And it's like, who the hell would know to go up there and get that and put that at the end of a movie?
Do those monks have a lot of experience with SD cards?
Now, I will say, in terms of like camera angles and just the use of the idea, I mean, they use every angle of this particular concept. Like, they're pulling video off of frickin' iPads and cop car footage and
the lady blogger / love interest.
Yeah, so there. I mean, there's a reason for it. It's, if you can get past my little problem with trying to figure out why it was put together, it is actually a good movie.
Yeah,
I really, really enjoyed it. I want to state that it is a very fun movie, but it was just that nagging thing in the back of my skull, going, "Why was this put together? And who found this? And who knew to put it in this order?" And like, this must have taken years. But I will say, I liked the characters a lot. All of them.
Oh yeah, yeah. There wasn't a single except the alcoholic dad. I'm not happy that the alcoholic dad survived through the end of this movie, because he was such an asshole that you really want this guy to die, but he doesn't. Mm-mm. Didn't like that, but...
Yeah, that was kind of disappointing.
I noticed that, too, that there's a lot of edits and camera footage from all over the place in this movie, so it is a question of who found this footage, but I was able to look past it, because it is just such a good movie.
Yeah, it is like I said, I really, really liked this movie. But it's just that one little thing.
Yeah.
My only other problem, and this really isn't a big deal, but it really pulled me out of the experience with the really cheap special effects. I don't want to say they're cheap, but like when he stops the baseball and the baseball looks really fake, floating in front of him. Yeah, and I know, it's an independent, low budget film, whatever. So I can forgive that, but it kind of pulled me out of the movie with how well they did all the other tricks.
Yeah,
it was like, oh,
I've seen worse special effects.
Yes, yes, I have
like
too.
Yeah.
Well, Anbach,
there's
2 and 3.
Yeah. I don't know. I personally don't think the aliens in John Carter look all that great.
I don't know.
That's from the trailer, so that might not be fair. But I personally don't think that any of the aliens in John Carter look believable.
Yeah. Yeah. So, by all means, definitely see it.
Yeah. See Chronicle if that's still in theaters in your area.
It is.
I'm sure it must be. It's only been like a month.
Yeah.
But yeah, see that in theaters. It's a fun
movie. If you like X-Men or any kind of superhero movie or any kind of sci-fi. It's a blast. It really is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you can kind of see some of the twists and turns coming way ahead of time, it's still fun. I mean, it still is enjoyable. So thumbs up on that. The next movie, The Grey, with Liam Neeson.
Yes, awesome movie.
This was an interesting movie because I went in expecting a survival movie, and that's exactly what I got. This really doesn't deviate too much from the formula of that style of movie. You basically have these Alaskan oil miner people that their plane crashes in the middle of frickin' nowhere, and they have to find a way home, and they're being pursued by wolves.
Yeah.
I really, really liked the build up to all the wolf attacks and everything else, because this movie's all about atmosphere, and that is something that it's a thick blanket over the entire movie. Just this feeling of being completely alone and desperate.
Yeah.
Which is really something I champion in this film. The only thing I really had a problem with was two things. One, I thought the wolves looked kind of chintzy.
Yeah.
But they're used sparingly. And
they keep them in the dark.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't even see them. So it's...
That was one of the great shots.
It's minimized, so it's not that big a deal, but it still was kind of annoying.
There was a really good shot in this movie when you don't see the wolves at all, but you see the breath of their breath coming out in, like, smoke in the cold at night.
Yeah.
It's a great scene.
Yeah, that was really... I like that. And my only other problem with it is they don't give anyone a name until like near the end of the movie, when all of a sudden they start exchanging names.
Yeah.
They have nicknames for everybody, but like for a fact that anyone with a nickname, I guess that makes them all a target, which is I guess the point is because nobody's named, anybody could die other than Liam Neeson, of course.
Well, they had names, they just don't make a big deal of.
Well, like I said, they kind of give them nicknames, and you get to know them more through their personality than their actual name, because they don't get names until near the end.
That's true.
But stay after the credits. If you do see this in theaters, stay after the credits.
Yeah.
There is something that actually does add to the movie.
It makes it a little less depressing overall.
Yeah. This isn't like, this probably isn't Liam Neeson's best movie, but it is. He is good in the role. I really like this compared to some of his other movies that he's done. Yeah, I know. I mean, it is a good movie, and he is good in it. But don't expect like the Taken version of Liam Neeson here, because you're not going to get it. But you'll be disappointed if you expect that. It's fun. It's good. A little preachy at points. What with the whole "live to die on this day" thing that keeps popping up. That becomes like a mantra through the movie, but overall, he was suicidal. I know, but I know. But I mean, they have these scenes that they're just kind of panning over the wilderness, and all of a sudden he cuts in with this really dry commentary on it, like he's narrating this meaningless dribble about religion and beliefs in life and death, and it's like, okay. Well, this is the kind of thing that would make you question that sort of thing. I mean, he was kind of in that boat already. But there's too much of it. Too much of it. But still, again, good movie. Thumbs up.
Yes.
Like it a lot.
Good movie.
And the last movie we're going to talk about, that we're going to talk about in some length,
yeah, a little bit more,
is the newest Ghost Rider movie, Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
Yes.
This was a movie I had no interest in seeing, at least in the theaters, until you called me up and you're like, I'm going to go see it.
Yeah.
At which point we headed out to the frickin' midnight showing of this thing.
This movie was awesome. I loved this movie. So much fun.
This movie knows what it is. It is a chintzy, cheesy superhero movie. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not going to get Iron Man here. You're not going to get Captain America.
No.
What you're going to get is you're going to get a guy, Nicolas Cage, being completely manic, nuts crazy.
Yep.
And just going, all out in these fight scenes.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I was...
Nick Cage is in this movie.
Yes. To the point where I was laughing.
Yeah.
I was laughing along with the Ghost Rider, because at the point it just got ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But that's half the fun.
I like how this movie's a lot like The Incredible Hulk, because it can kind of work as a sequel to the movie that came before it, but really it's more like it's doing its own thing now. Like, they established early on that a lot of the rules for the Ghost Rider are different than how they were in the last movie. Like, now he can become the Ghost Rider at any time and not just in the dark. And I think it's subtly more powerful now because it activates when he's near anyone with any kind of evil. Even down to the very low, like if you downloaded an MP3, he might go off on that. Which is weird because he never goes off on the kid's mother.
Hmm.
Yeah, didn't she like kill some people?
Well, yeah, but I don't think it was out of evil intent.
I suppose.
I think it was protecting him.
Right.
So it's more justifiable. But yeah, he's the perfect kind of actor for this thing where he's got he's got this manic way about him that's just hilarious to watch, and you can tell he had fun in this movie.
This movie's actually a lot like Drive Angry, which is another Nicolas Cage movie that came out in February about a man with hell-based powers that has to save a child from participating in a black mass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was drawing parallels between the two. I mean, all you gotta do is take the car out of Drive Angry and put it in a motorcycle, and you pretty much got it.
Yeah, this is basically what if the guys that made Crank made Drive Angry, but on a PG-13 rating.
Yeah. The humor this movie had. This movie is frickin' hilarious.
This movie's funny.
Basically, there's a villain. There's one scene that just made me lose it. There's a villain that tries to kill Ghost Rider, and his name's Decay. So basically, anything he touches immediately decays into nothing. And he's sitting in a truck driving to go find the Ghost Rider, and he picks up an apple from a lunchbox, and it disintegrates. He picks up a sandwich, and it disintegrates. He picks up a Twinkie. Nothing happens. And it's just like, and that's the kind of humor in this movie. Like, it's stupid, it's corny, but it's so much fun.
I thought for a long time that Decay was being played by the guy from Dawson's Creek, and I will just let that lie.
Yeah, he was kind of corny though.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not sure how I feel about the devil in this movie. He's intimidating and all, but he doesn't really do anything in this whole movie. Like, he makes Decay, but that's about it.
Well, yeah, but it's not really about him.
I suppose, but if you're going to put the devil in it, have him do something. I mean, he's supposed to be like a master manipulator and all, but he doesn't even really do that. He's just kind of there, really.
Yeah, I guess.
Also someone who's there, Christopher Lambert out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
The Highlander's in this movie as a tattooed bald monk. An evil tattooed bald monk.
Yeah, he looks absolutely ridiculous in this movie.
The years after he killed the Kurgan were not kind to him.
Well, okay. Yeah. I remember you were like freaking out when you saw that. So, that was cool.
Yes, that was fun.
But the whole movie... Raiden. The whole movie just has this absolute hilarious nature to it. Like,
it does.
Even the action scenes get to the point of ridiculous.
Yeah. Every action scene in this movie devolves into him basically disintegrating all the enemy combatants that come against him. And I was wondering about that for a little while, and I figured out that's probably the most violent thing they could get away with on a PG-13 rating.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I think that might hinder this movie a bit is the men who did Crank almost certainly would have strived for an R rating. Nicolas Cage, who is a Ghost Rider fan, would have almost certainly strived for an R rating. But they got a PG-13 movie because it's Marvel. But they did that Punisher movie with an R rating. They really should have... This movie really should have had an R rating, and it probably would have been even better. But what it is, it does work.
Yeah. I mean, there's one particular scene. Basically, anything that the Ghost Rider is inside of or riding just turns into this demonic vehicle of death.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets inside this, like, weird digging crane thing that has this giant spinning circle on it.
It's the Google image search, the saw that would cut the world in half, and you'll find the picture of this machine. He gets in that, and he possesses it.
And it turns into a giant flaming Ferris wheel of death. And at which point he starts driving it into people, laughing to himself as he does it. And it's just like... And I just remember, like, turning to Alex and being like, that made my night.
Yeah.
Like, that was incredible. So, yeah. If you're looking for just a fun, stupid superhero movie, if you're sick and tired of the Marvel stuff that's coming out, you know, now leading up to the Avengers, all this serious dealing with the powers and trying to become normal and all this other crap, which is good in its own right.
Yeah.
If you're kind of sick of that and you want to go back to something a little bit more hokey, this is perfect.
Yeah, it's short, it's contained to itself, it's fun, it's action-packed, it's just everything you could want out of...
It's a blast.
Out of an $8 ticket.
It's a blast. It's set out to entertain you.
Yes.
And it does everything it can think of to entertain you, and I was fucking entertained. So.
Yes.
Very much recommend this movie. I know Rotten Tomatoes hasn't been very nice to it, or any review said, actually.
I'm not sure how someone who's actually a fan of Ghost Rider in the comics would feel about this. Like, I imagine they would have hated the last movie.
I will say, I'm not a fan of Ghost Rider, and I only saw the first Ghost Rider movie on DVD years before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't really care for Ghost Rider at all.
Right.
But I still went to this movie, and I still loved it, and it was a lot of fun. So, I don't know. I guess if you're a diehard fan, you might have a couple problems with it.
Yeah. I imagine fans of Ghost Rider would have hated the last movie, and they might not like this one too much either. But if you take it what it is, and it's basically the Crank director's interpretation of the character, it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. It is a lot of fun. So yeah, I say see it.
See it.
I mean, if you didn't like the first one, still give this one a shot, because I found it to be a lot better.
Yeah, it's a lot better. It's a lot more improved. The effects on Ghost Rider are leaps and bounds above the last movie.
Yeah, the special effects
he's not
are
like
incredible.
He's not like a weenie-looking demon skull. He's just a human skull that's scorching and burning all the time. And the leather on his jacket is boiling.
Is literally like popping open with flame. It's really something to see.
It is phenomenal.
And yeah, he comes off in the first movie. When he was Ghost Rider, he didn't really come off all that threatening.
No, he was kind of a wiener.
In this movie, he's scary as hell.
Oh yeah.
He literally is scary. Not to the point of being like, you know, you're not gonna be scared of him. But I mean, like, literally, just him showing up and the way he moves and the way he attacks people and just the way he looks. It just
he's a badass in this movie.
Yeah, it's dark. It's really dark for at least when compared to the first movie.
I like what they did with the penance stare in this movie. Mm-hmm. Like, in the first Ghost Rider movie, they had it so he grabs someone, and he stares him down, and they kind of, like, burn from the inside out, and their eyes get all scorched from the sins they've committed through their life. In this movie, he kind of grabs them by, like, the face, and just holds them right up there, and then they just consistently start having a seizure until they like die. I don't know why. It's a lot more subtle than it was in the last movie, and it works a lot better, I think.
Well, it really has something to do with the way they also shot those scenes, where it's like it goes to an all dark area. It's all black,
it was pretty much
just the two of them.
Yeah, him and Decay both can basically enter QuickTime mode when they do either the penance stare, or when Decay is killing anyone with his powers.
Yeah. My only real complaint with the movie is I forget the guy's name, but the black guy
Idris Elba?
Yeah. Wasn't Blade.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason...
When does Wesley Snipes get out of prison? I want another Blade movie.
For some reason, I was really hoping that would be the new Blade, and they would spin that off into like a whole new Blade trilogy or something.
Idris Elba would make an awesome Blade,
because, I mean, we need a good vampire to go kick the ass of any Twilight bitches, because, I mean, I am seriously sick and tired of it at this point.
Yeah. It's getting a little annoying.
Yeah. Go watch Daybreakers. If you guys want a good vampire movie, go watch Daybreakers.
Is that the one with Sam Neill in it? Mm. Okay.
And Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. And others.
And others. It totally makes up for every Twilight movie. But anyway... yeah. So,
yeah.
Actually, I liked all 4 of the movies that we talked about.
Yeah.
Haywire, The Grey, Chronicle, and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
All good.
All good. Chronicle and Spirit of Vengeance right now I know is still in theaters. I'm pretty sure Haywire's out, and The Grey I think might be hanging around somewhere.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, honestly, I was entertained.
Yes.
Is Ghost Rider the best movie of the 4 that I've seen? No. Not by a long shot, but I'll tell you, 12 o'clock at night, you got some popcorn and a soda, and you're out to see a superhero movie, and you want to be entertained, it'll entertain you. It's fun. Yeah, so, I guess thumbs up to all those. I'd say rent them all. I wouldn't necessarily, I don't think, buy any of them. Maybe Chronicle.
I'd buy Ghost Rider.
Would you buy Ghost Rider?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you.
Yes.
So yeah, there's all that. And yeah, so that's it. And we'll catch you guys later.
See ya.